How many of you have had the opportunity to use So Color Cult on your guests? In what ways do your guests communicate with you on what colors that they're interested in? Cindy?
Well, my guests show me sample photos from Pinterest a lot of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Diane?
I agree, but also they bring in their phones and they show us pictures of family and friends. So yeah, that works too.
That is true. I think phones are the most popular way to communicate a photo or to communicate what kind of color a guest wants on their hair. Tracy?
I had a guest one time bring in her friend because my guest wanted her hair to look like her friend's hair.
You know what, that's an excellent point. And the reason why I love that is because when someone does that and they bring in a friend, you can see the color for what it's worth. It's not photoshopped. It's and you're seeing it naturally for the color that it is. So, and Trisha?
Well, my guests bring in pictures from the magazine to show like the movie stars and different hair colors.
Absolutely. All of those ideas are great ideas, and those happen, when you're in a salon and you're behind your chair, those things happen constantly. But has anybody ever thought about using colors from nature?
No.
Okay. I love doing this, and I came up with an activity that I hope will be very fun for us. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass each one of you a photo, and then you're going to use the semi-line. And you're going to choose your inspiration from these colors and the photo to pick out the color that you're going to use on a guest. How's that sound?
Sounds
Great. Okay. So the first picture, the first photo I have is going to be for Tracy. And here's the first picture. Okay. And the second photo is going to Cindy. And Cindy, I believe this is Norway.
Looks like Aurora Borealis.
And let's see, the third photo is going to Diane, and it's fitting for the season that we're in.
Pumpkins.
And the last photo is for Trisha. So everybody take a look at your photo and take an opportunity and see what colors you would choose. If maybe your guest would come in with these photos, how would you communicate what colors to choose? And while you're doing that, if anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
Are these colors intermixable?
Absolutely they are. That's a great question. There's Cindy?
Well, my guests are a little younger and they lean towards the neon colors.
Yes, they're fun colors.
So having said that they are all intermixable, being that the technology for the neons has the black light.
I was just going to ask you that. What's different from the neon colors versus the other colors? What's the difference between the neon colors and the other colors?
Is that they're formulated to work under black light.
Absolutely.
They glow.
Yes.
So when you mix that with some of these other colors, does that technology remain or does it take it out?
No, the technology remains. However, it will diminish the color slightly, but it will still glow under the black light. It'll just shift
terrific.
the tone a little bit.
Good.
Yes. Any other questions?
How many colors are there?
There are 30 colors.
Wow.
How long do these colors last in someone's hair?
Well, that depends on a lot of things. It depends on how they upkeep it, what shampoo they use. That can get into a lot of different areas. So how's everybody doing picking out their colors?
I think I would have mine.
Okay, Tracy, you picked 2 colors
Yes.
with your photo.
And I picked the bubblegum pink, and I also chose the lavender macaron.
Yeah, you know what, and I like these colors because they're very soft, because this photo to me is a very soft photo, and I like these colors that you chose. However, you could get someone in there that could see some of this blue, and I might pick a retro blue to mix in with that. You just never know what your guest is going to want, so that's an excellent choice. I mean, what you have is excellent, but again, the possibilities are endless. And Cindy, what have you chosen?
Well, like I was communicating earlier, my guests lean towards the neon colors, and looking at this picture, the first thing that pops out to me is the yellow. So,
Me too.
So neon yellow, I think, is the primary color I'm looking at. And the secondary colors, I like the flamenco fuchsia
Yep.
and the mermaid teal. I think that they all go well together.
And you know what, just a suggestion, shadow roots are very popular right now. You could pick a darker color at the base of their hair and give them a shadow root and then continue in with these colors. So that's a good idea right there. And Diane,
I'm gonna do the orange alert, and then I'm gonna mix
to match the pumpkins,
Mhm.
right? Yes.
and then I'm gonna mix the orange alert and the lucky duck yellow for the clouds up here.
Yeah, because if you mix these two colors, you'll probably end up with a orange yellow, sort of like a peach. Absolutely.
And then the retro blue for up in the sky.
Sure. And then I also see kind of a moss green in there. You might have a guest that might want some of the green in there. They might want all four of those colors. So that's an excellent idea also. And Trisha, you?
Well, I was just looking at this yellow too. This might be good for mine to do the fire.
Yes,
fire
absolutely.
here. But I have the Admiral Navy for the sky here and a little bit of the tropical violet in
Yes.
between here.
Yes.
And then for the evergreen, maybe have a little bit of the black, and then this would be the neon green.
Yes.
To get
Those
that.
I love the black, but I think that if you want to use the black with this, I would be very careful because you wouldn't want the black to overpower the green. But I do think that is a great choice that you just made. Absolutely. So, what does everybody think about this activity?
That was fun.
Oh, that was fun. Loved it.
Does anybody have any questions, or how about any takeaway moments? Has anybody learned anything new, or something that has happened that they said, "Oh, now I learned something new." I'm gonna go around to each one of you to see what you guys think. Tracy?
I learned that the colors were all intermixable. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I love the idea of that. Yes, absolutely.
I too learned that not only are all the colors intermixable, but that includes the neon colors, and that the ability for them to glow under the black light will remain even when you mix them with other colors. And I also like the fact that just the possibilities are endless when you're considering colors from nature and colors from sources that you might not have considered previously.
Don't you feel, Cindy, also that when you have your guest in your chair, that talking about the neon colors is a great way to strike up a conversation because it's just very fun?
I do. My guests are younger and they're full of life and
Yes.
really,
Hey, you know what though? I've had older women that have asked for those colors also.
I've seen
So-
that as well. Yes.
Yes. And Diane?
My aha moment was learning to use nature, and a lot of my guests are outdoorsy. They like to be outside to work out and run and walk. So I think this is a great idea for them.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. I do. I agree with you also.
Yeah.
And Trisha, what about you?
Well, I did not know that there was neon colors, so that's a great thing even for the holidays.
Yes. Yeah. Because I think the red would be great around Christmas.
Yep.
And I always like to educate, and I like when I can come into a classroom and someone learns something new. I would like to suggest, and this is something that I do in my salon, to maybe keep a portfolio. This is what I do. I probably at least 20 to 25 of these photos. And when someone comes in and they want these fun colors and they ask for the cult colors, I show them these pictures. And it's a good conversation starter. It's a good conversation piece. And they always like seeing these very vibrant colors. And if you're interested, you can go to a print and copy store and it might cost you 50 cents a page. So it's a good way to have that at your station so that you can communicate with your guests.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm definitely doing that.
So hopefully you guys learned something, and I really enjoyed being here with you.
All right, thank you.